Hey folks, welcome in. How you doing today? How's it going out there in YouTube land? Everything's going okay for you? It has been a really weird week here for me. Sorry I'm late. I turned the computer on and it decided it needed to update before I could get online. So, hi, how you doing? At least in theory, it should all go well because it just updated, right? So, we'll see. Hey, Jessica, welcome in. How you doing, sweetie? Yes, you do, girlfriend. I'm going to go over to your page later on today and check you out. I have been busy here and just have not had a lot of free time to roam Facebook. I've barely been in any auctions. I just, taking care of business. I've been recording for the shop hop and getting all that foolishness together, which was a lot of work. I had the bags ready. I thought I'd be, a little bit less work involved, but no, there was a lot of work involved. So I'm hoping those will sell well. Oh, honey girl, you are one of the awesome ones that actually puts in the time, puts in the energy, really helps us out. I really hope some of the people are out there helping you out too, because you definitely help us out getting our channels noticed and dropping the comments, sharing the likes. I mean, you know how the algorithms work, and you definitely have got it mastered. So thank you very, very much for what you do. It is very appreciated on my end, and I'm pretty sure there's other sellers and other channels that don't necessarily sell things that you share that appreciate you too. So, I just hope you get reciprocated more frequently than I think you do. I know how it is. Oh boy. Yeah, there aren't too many like you out there, Jessica. So definitely thank you, thank you. I hope everything's going well. Your kids are off school for the summer, right? It's July, right? No kids should be in school right now. I know you do. It's awesome. It is awesome. Hopefully you get to have some fun this summer. I don't know what, but some kind of fun. I miss going camping. We used to do that with the kids when they were little. We haven't done that in a lot of years, so of course now I'm too old to actually camp, sleep on the ground. I definitely need at least an air mattress. August 6th? Wow. That's amazing. You didn't go back till after Labor Day, usually, September. I know it changes a little bit, but out here in Arizona, it's definitely a weird schedule. I don't know. They have like the weirdest time off, so I never know. They even do 4-day school weeks here. It's very strange for sure. I'm glad I'm not dealing with the kid thing right now, because, well, for a lot of reasons. I don't want to be dealing with any institutions, and if you have a kid, you're dealing with institutions. So it's tough out there, man. I would not want to be a parent and have to navigate all the foolishness that goes on with kids these days, and not because of the kids, because of the systems. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do 6 other things. It's like, well, I don't want to do any of them, so it wouldn't go well. My kids would definitely be getting homeschooled, or I'd be in jail, one of the two, because it wouldn't go well. I had enough trouble 20 years ago. Awesome. Yeah, you get one, girlfriend. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. 3 kids and the school supplies. It was like, are you kidding me? We might want to eat this month. It's like, what am I paying taxes for? Good luck with it. I gotta say, I don't miss that. The school shopping. I mean, it was fun to take the kids. They always got excited for new school clothes and, the new sneakers or whatever the thing was that particular year that everybody had to have. They always got excited. My kids like school, so that was a bonus. Yeah, well, they're all special needs, Jessica, believe it or not. I'm not making light, girlfriend. You know I'm not. But yeah, boy, kids, especially nowadays, they need some help. All the kids do. It's been just miserable for them. And think about how it is for us. Imagine being a kid trying to navigate with a whole bunch of grumpy grown-ups. 19 and 12. Yeah, that's a spread. Man, the 19-year-old can help you out some, and she isn't the one that needs most of the work, on your end. Yeah, it's tough, boy, having kids. I'm lucky. All three of my kids are doing well, taking care of their own business. They check in periodically. Our youngest is here, right up the road from us. He moved to Arizona with us, but the older two did not. So, but we did actually talk to both of them this weekend, which was nice. And I forgot to hook up to Facebook here today, which is how I ended up talking to my daughter last week, because she showed up because she saw me. So, yeah, I've just been doing a lot of tech stuff. That's what I recording, editing, uploading, re-recording, re-uploading, re-editing. Hearing aids and glasses, yeah. That's all right. She can just turn the world off when she doesn't want to hear the noise, right? That might not be a bad deal. Oh, man. Hey, girlfriend, you just keep on keeping on, because you're doing it all right, in my book, anyway. Based on what I'm seeing, you're taking care of business, and, that's what kids need. They don't need a mansion. They need a parent that cares, and it seems like you're a parent that cares, so good on you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, I do miss the kids. The little kids, had them, for so many years, and now we're just, hanging out being old people. Doug just wants to retire, be done with it. Sign language, that's cool. I know the alphabet, I learned it at, I don't know, summer camp or something along the line, but I never did learn American Sign Language, and I probably should have, because, why not? Not like it's hard. Gotta practice. That's cool, though. Good for you. You learn how to lip read, then you can start being one of those people that can tell all the secrets from, when they have the cameras on people and you can't hear them. You'll be a famous internet star telling everybody's tea. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk to animals. I want to be Dr. Doolittle. I bet they could tell me some interesting stories. They could just tell me how to mellow out, huh? I've been a little crazy this week. It's just been a little stressful for me. Nothing bad, just too much going on all at once, and Hey, good, At least she knows it. She's the one that needs it more than you do, so as long as you can communicate, keep practicing. That's all I can tell you. I was always amazed with people that read Braille. Can you imagine reading with your fingers? I mean, I type with my fingers, but that's different. I'm not taking in information, I'm putting information out. Braille is very interesting to me. I'm glad I don't have to use it, though. I am glad. I'm very happy to have my five senses mostly in working order. My nose is a little not happy today, but it's just this, I don't know, I guess the bad air quality, all the smoke, and Doug and I have both been stuffy, sneezy, a little bit of sore, scratchy throat thing going on, but I really think it's the air, not germs, so. I have not been sleeping well. I was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning because I forgot to record my daily devotions because I was busy recording the shop hop and re-recording the shop hop and editing the shop hop. So I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning and recorded those. So there's a couple of them done. I got to get more of them done today so that they're done through the weekend so I can go to the shop hop and then go over to the rental and deal with that. Yeah. Handyman should be done probably by the end of the weekend, and then I can list it. So I got to finish getting the stuff out that he left, and clean up anything that needs cleaning. And luckily, he didn't leave a big mess. So that's a nice bonus. Well, Jessica, that's just not cool. I'm sorry. I had psoriasis for many, many years. I used to go to the light box. It's like a 5-minute light therapy. Nowadays, you might be you can get one if you get a doctor to write you a script for the UVB lights. That's what you need. But then you have to buy a tanning bed. And I actually had one for a while because I lived really remote and couldn't get to the doctor to do those little, you know. Yeah, sun does help. And stress causes a lot of it, and so does inflammation. All the things that make us sick for everything else. They just come out differently in people's bodies. Doug has asthma. He's been dealing with that since he was a kid. Yeah, we've actually been using, there you go. I'm tired. I can't even think of regular, normal words. CBD soap. It does not have any hemp or THC in it. It's just got the CBD oils. That's really helping our skin because out here in Arizona, it's real dry. That's actually been helping. Yep, inhalers. Yep. And when our son was young, he had a nebulizer. Did outgrow it, so that was good. Our daughter occasionally would need an inhaler, but it was mostly weather related. Like if it got really cold, she would start getting the breathing problems. So, but normally she's okay. So that's nice, We're pretty lucky. We try to take care of business, and Doug and I have been trying really, really hard to get rid of the processed foods out of the house. Because, there's 90% chemicals in those processed foods, and they're making us sick. And, I don't always want to be the one peeling the vegetables and the whatever and whatnot, but you know what? Tastes better. It's better for you. You don't feel so crappy. So, and it's not like I have a job and 3 kids to watch after, so I don't really have an excuse for not doing better. 7th grade. That's a good time. That's a good time. That's funny. My son Ben, when he was I think he was just starting 1st grade. He was one of the smarty kids, and he'd get bored really easy. So they actually made him a mentor for some other kids. And Ben was really good with kids, even when he was a kid. And I wish that he'd gone into like physical therapy for children or something along that line. So I think he would have done really well with it. He actually was a mentor for a blind girl at school. And he would take her classroom to classroom, have lunch with her, the whole 9 yards, because she was new to school. She didn't know anybody. And they asked Ben if he would want to do that. And he said yes. And, I was pretty proud of him, little dude dragging, going around school, taking the new blind girl with him. You know how it is with kids. Oh, the new girl or the new boy. You know how they are. But Ben didn't care. He stepped right up and he got to know her pretty well. And, it was pretty cool. I do wish he had, he drives a forklift in a warehouse. Well, that's what he was doing. And now he's actually a purchasing manager. But I think he would have more fun working with kids than numbers. I know I do. I don't like numbers. Yeah, 7th grade, so you're into the hormone situation and all that. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Oh, school garden, that's cool. We didn't have one of those. We have one here, actually, at the little local school. That's pretty cool. And they have a tortoise, too. And the tortoise, when he decided to hibernate a couple years ago, actually dug under the foundation of the school. And they had to go get him and dig him out because he was causing problems. Oh, too funny. At gardens, man. I didn't get my garden in this year. I'm so bummed. I don't know what is wrong with me. I just can't seem to get it together. I have all these plans, They just don't come to fruition because apparently I don't put in the energy to have it happen. Beautiful in my head, though. If y'all want to live in my head, you'd love it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Yeah, I got to get it together. I've just been, I don't know, seems like up and down, up and down. I can't quite keep it on a steady pace where I can keep making progress. But I guess that's life, right? You know, you can't have a great day every day, right? You need to have more better days and less productive days and just kind of feeling stressed out days, I guess. I love that, Jess. That's awesome. Oh, and then he can be self-sufficient, grow his own food. I mean, what's wrong with that? Nothing. You know, and if he likes it and he knows what he's doing, buy him the seeds and have at it, you know? Why not? Good with flowers, too. You can make your whole front of your house look pretty. Be a gardener, a landscaper. They make good money, man. You know, be outside. You don't have to be in an office. I think, you know, a trade job tends to be nicer long term, unless you really don't like outside. But, you know, I don't really like sitting in an office in a cubicle with 20 other people sitting behind cubicles. And nope. I'd rather be outside, even if it meant backbreaking work, as opposed to sitting at an office desk. Yeah, that's great, Jess. That's awesome. I need a helper. Can I borrow him? We'll call it Ellen's Summer Camp in Arizona. Come and hang out with all the creatures and help me feed them and, you know, fancy up my dirt yard. It's only dirt out there. It's not a lot to work, you know, move rocks, you know, it's nothing fun. That's the trouble. Nothing fun. Oh, good. You'll send him to me? All right, I'll let you know. He'll be back by the 6th of August, right? I wouldn't do that to a kid. It's too hot here. You got to come in the spring and the fall. That's when it's lovely here. Easter and Thanksgiving. Oh, it's so nice here. Nighttime, daytime, doesn't matter. No bugs. You can go in and out, wear a t-shirt, enjoy your day. Oh, really? Oh, I will buy the plane ticket. I would love to have somebody clean my house. I do not like cleaning house. I keep it neat. You know, it's not disgusting, but I wouldn't eat off my floor. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the dog is for. But mostly it's the dust. I can't take this dust. I dust and it's back within an hour. And it just, you know, it's just like pointless. Like, how many times do I have to wipe that table off? You know, 5 times a day? I'm not doing it. I am not OCD like that. You know, so. If he cleans house, he can live here on a full-time basis and I'll feed him. Oh, man. I keep trying to talk Doug into getting a pool boy, and he has this thing. He says, well, we don't have a pool. Like, so? I told him he could have a French maid. As long as she keeps her clothes on, I don't care what she looks like. Just as long as she cleans my house and keeps the clothes on, he can have a French maid. I'm good with that. That's funny, Jessica. That is funny. I'm telling you. I would, yeah. I thought about looking into it, adopting a kid, you know, because I was really bored with my life. Like, you know, and, you know, that's not a good reason to adopt a kid. But, you know, I have the time, the resources, you know, I like kids, you know. But Doug wasn't really up for it. He's, you know, done that and he's working still. And, you know, I think I'm glad I didn't because I'd be dealing with school system. I was thinking about this before COVID. So, you know, it could have gotten really pretty hairy there if I did it. And things didn't go well, you know. So, you know, being a foster parent, something along that lines, I was thinking about it. But I think I'm just going to stick to my critters and my plants and, you know, my shiny rocks and just be a grumpy old lady that grows weird things and, you know, walks around barefoot. Those are my big plans for life at this point. Kids won't give me grandkids, so no guinea pigs. Yeah, we like guinea pigs, but Doug is highly allergic to them. I mean, like you've seen people get stung by a bee and their eyes will swell up. That's how Doug gets if he pets a guinea pig and touches his face. His whole face turns red. His eyes swell up. He's like wheezing. I mean, it's terrible. It's just terrible. We don't have any guinea pigs. Even has to be careful with my big red horse. It's something about his hair. It's just a little different from the donkeys and the black horse, apparently. And if Doug like hugs on him and gets his face on him, he'll get all itchy. Hey, Regina, welcome in, welcome in. I emailed you. I'm sorry, it's been a weird week. I just didn't get that. I did it this morning. Five guinea pigs. Yeah, they're funny. Little squealer things. Had a couple when we lived in Germany. He was, moving. The army moves people all the time, and they had two guinea pigs, and they're like, "Oh, we can't take them with us." And it's like, "Oh, I'll take them," So we had a couple guinea pigs, and whenever Doug would come home from work, they'd be wee, 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 wee. But he was really allergic to them, so I did end up finding another family to give them to. So, and at the pet shop, we had guinea pigs, but Doug did not ever take care of them, so that he could keep breathing, They are cute. Guinea pigs are cute. Yeah, no hurry, Regina. It took me a week to get back to you. I'm sorry. Just been that kind of week. I don't know. It's just been weird this week. It's too much stuff going on. Got the plumber and handyman and all that foolishness going on over there at the rental because he moved out and he actually broke several of the turn-off valves for the water. He was very worried about water, and he just, I don't know, he didn't want it coming out of the tap, so he made sure that, the toilets couldn't flush anymore because he broke the turn-off valve. So we're getting two of those put in, and a few other small little things. So, cucumbers. Yeah, I'd like some nice garden fresh cucumbers. I haven't had one that tastes good in 2 years. I don't know what they're doing to the vegetables, but even when you buy them from the more expensive stores, they're still not good. Yeah, that's the African gray whistling at him. Y'all are making the conure go crazy. Now be good. I got through most of my taping of my shop hop video with minimal bird noise, so it's a little bit on part of it, but I got most of it done without them making too much noise. Unbelievable. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, Woodstock was hollering for my daughter the other day. He does that every now and again. Emma, Emma, Emma. I'm like, Emma's not here. Emma's not here. Emma went to bed, whatever. I mean, she's in Boston. He doesn't quite understand what Boston is, so. And then the other day when she called, I had her on speakerphone and he was listening and he got all fluffy and I turned the camera so Emma could see him and it was like they were talking to each other. It was really funny. Yeah. Yeah. I recorded in sections. I did 3 different sections for my sales because I had 3 different kinds of mystery bags and it was just easier to break it up, And I recorded each one of them at least twice. I think one of them I recorded 4 times. So, I was having a lot of trouble with things like words, like clothespin. I couldn't remember what the word clothespin was. It's just, that's how it's been this week. I just can't. And there's a couple of little glitches, and it's like, you know what? I am so done playing with editing. I don't like editing. I don't like doing that. I don't mind making something from scratch. I don't like trying to fix something that's already made. Yeah, words. I know. It's insanity. It really is insanity. You don't have a video up, woman. I made a playlist and I tagged everybody's videos or saved them to that playlist, for the shop hop. But you just have up the little one from Johnny. But I'm guessing that you're not going to do a premiere, so it's not there. So after you get it up, I'll add it to my playlist. And you're before me, I think. Yes, you're before me. So I can probably grab your link and pop it into my description before mine goes live. So that'd be cool. And then I'm finishing timestamps. I was doing that while I was waiting for the computer to reboot itself when I tried to come online. And I was on my other computer, the one that the camera won't work on, so I couldn't even go online there with that. Yeah, you don't actually have to be in the chat to do a premiere, so you know. And you can get live premiere chat up. Once you put up the premiere and let it sit there for, I don't know, like an hour and let YouTube do its thing, you go back into edit video and you scroll down and you can actually set it up so your chat will show up later. But yeah, you don't have to be in the chat. It's just nice if you can be. I set mine up as a premiere, and I will be there if I can, but I may be at the rental, so we'll see. Bye, Jess. Thanks for coming. It was nice talking to you. Have fun with the kids. Don't work too hard. Oh, man. Yeah, that's, and I did the mystery bag, so it's just, there's not much to see. They're bags with pink tissue paper in them. I mean, thus mystery, right? So, the first time I went through the 15 big bags I had it done in like 5 minutes. It's like, that's not going to work. So I had to like slow down and, do some filler chit chat and, that kind of stuff. Cause I ended up with 28 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm starting 1 minute late and I'll end 1 minute early, and that'll give people time to do, get to the next channel, I did it, man. I pulled it off. You watch and let me know what you think. It was a lot of work, man. It was a lot of work. I was stressed out about it. I was miserable about it. I was thinking about not doing it. And it's like, well, that would be really crappy. There's already people scheduled, and that's, I'm kind of in the middle. So that wouldn't be cool, I just was bumming and didn't want to deal with any of it. But whatever. I got over it. I got it done. Now we're moving along. I got to record, I don't know. Like to record the rest of the month's devotional so I don't have to think about that for the next few days, and I can do my lives and my sales and my rental stuff, and just working on it. I need some pep pills. Do they still make those? Are those still a thing? What I really need is a good night's sleep. Went to bed at 3, got up about 6. I just couldn't sleep. Yeah, well, I added stuff to mine, too. And if Johnny wanted me to make it a full 30 minutes, he didn't tell me. I told him what I did. He never replied, so I'm assuming he's okay with it. I can add my 1 minute intro to it, but I added my outro to it just so people would get my information, because I did more about the saw pop than I did about me. So, but I did put my outro in at the end of it because I needed a little more filler space, and that also gives people information, especially people that have never been to my channel. So, yeah, I added some things too. We'll see what everybody thinks about it. Yeah, I did the little mystery box one a couple weeks ago. Had all these, not mystery boxes, really finding boxes. Buy and comment video, just kind of do a practice on it. That went okay, but nobody bought any. So, uh, getting a little annoyed with it, quite honestly. Not sure what to do about it all. But I'm about ready to take a whole bunch of it out to the dumpster and just get rid of it, because I can't even give it away. So I don't want this stuff in my house. I don't know what else to do with it. I tried, girlfriend. Yeah, I was up at 3 o'clock this morning recording daily devotionals. I mean, come on. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm fine. I'm okay. There's nothing bad going on in my life. I had just too much stuff. It's my own fault because I said yes. I don't know. I mean, you don't even know what the law is. I mean, it would be like you need a moving truck to get this stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And I don't know. I paid $1,500 for most of what I'm selling. I just want to break even. I just want to get rid of this stuff. But I'm at the point of I don't want to see it anymore. I don't care. I don't want to, and I've tried to give it to people, like make donations that they don't want it. I'm just gonna throw it out. I'm telling you, I'm just gonna throw it out because it'll make my life just much easier. Because I'll have more room in my house, which is what I really want. More room in my house. Yeah, cool, no problem. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to start trying to price it, honestly, as a big giant lot. I mean, someone offered me $1,000, I'd probably start throwing it in boxes and sending it to you. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. So, and I see people buying it on other people's channels for a lot more than I'm selling it for. So I don't know. I'm just not getting the traffic. I don't know. I'm not fun to listen to. I'm not sure. So whatever. But yeah, that's just kind of where I've been at with it, and I'm not really liking the auction situation lately. So I'm gonna try to work it out, give it a few more months and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, then well, I don't need to do auctions, and I can just toss it all in the dumpster and move along to doing something else because I can. I do know that what I am selling has been below wholesale price, and people still aren't buying it. So I don't know. But I'm not going to be buying any more jewelry lots or anything to sell because I obviously don't have the customers for it. So there's kind of pointless to do that. But anywho, other than that, I've just been kind of listening to the news. Getting interesting. Hope it gets a lot more interesting really quickly. Really would like some major changes to happen. Even though I know it'll be disruptive, eventually it'll be better. And if you don't do something, I don't know. This country is just circling the toilet at this point, the way I see it. So, oh boy. Yeah, I just want to get back to making things. Just want to get back to making things and having fun, having some free time, having some downtime. You know, sadly, there have been a whole lot more people being sick again. That really bums me out. A lot of sick people. A lot of people not doing well financially. All kinds of stuff like that going on, and that never makes me happy either. So, I go out there looking, trying to find the good stuff, and I keep finding more crap, and it's like, all right, I'm looking for something to make me smile, folks. You're not helping. Then I go outside. That works much better. All the little squirrels have been running around. They are so cute. And I know, Doug, he was like, what, you're feeding the squirrels? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not feeding them. And I am. I am feeding the squirrels. But they're just so cute. They're like little tiny chipmunks. But they're destructive and they'll get into your wiring and stuff. But, the animals are here because we have water. So they come for the water. So my thought is if I make friends with them, maybe they won't destroy my house. Yeah, because they're bad. Squirrels are pests. They love to get into your house and into your wiring and your cars and all. I don't know what it is with the wires. They love to chew wires. And they like to steal insulation and stuff like that so that they can make nests. Yeah, they're not great to have hanging around your house on the regular. But we have a little family of they're little ground squirrels, and they really do look like chipmunks on the East Coast. But they're squirrels apparently. Harrison ground squirrels. And it's the little family, and the mom and the dad and the little babies, and they're just so cute. I got some video I gotta put up. I just again haven't been playing with that. If I didn't need to touch the tech, I didn't touch it this weekend. But I did touch a lot of tech, unfortunately. More than I wanted to. We've had all kinds of critters here again. Been hot and dry. We haven't had rain in I don't know how long. It's been a while. Probably over a month. So that definitely brings the critters to the house that has the water, But, yeah. They've all been behaving themselves so far. Yeah, I don't normally feed outdoor animals because I don't want them to be dependent on me, especially, growing up in New England in the winter. If you started feeding animals and they didn't take care of business for the winter and put away food, which a lot of animals do, and they get used to it, and if you stopped, then, they would die, which is not cool. So I don't usually feed. Now, I have water because I have a tortoise, and I have a fish pond, and I have donkeys and horses, so they have water troughs. So there's water here, and animals can smell that. So they do come. I don't mind. I love the animals, but, we have a fenced backyard, and hopefully eventually our front yard will be fenced again. It was fenced, and then the wind ripped it down, and then cows finished what the wind didn't do, so that's a big giant bill to redo the front yard again, but we will eventually, and that keeps, a lot of things away from the house. But the whole point of living in nature is because I want to live in nature, not just away from people. So I do enjoy the wildlife, but you got to be careful, especially places like Arizona. The wildlife can be very hazardous to your health. So we try, Yeah, in general, I don't let wild critters in the house, but I won't say I've never done it. We had a pet skunk. Mama and the other babies got killed by a car right near a gas station. And the little baby was following the gas station attendant around, and he kept giving it like little bowls of milk. He didn't know what to do with it. It's a little tiny baby skunk, right? And my father saw it. He said, "Oh, can I have it?" And the guy's like, "Yes, please." So he brought the baby skunk home. And her name was Sweet Pea. And she never sprayed us. Never, ever, ever. We were living in Connecticut, and it was illegal. I don't know if it still is. Probably it was at the time. This was 40-something years ago. And, she was domesticated because, we literally bottle fed her. She was a tiny baby when we got her. Never lived outside on her own, so she didn't know how to take care of business. And we took her to the vet to get her, decented. Do that. And the vet called the state of Connecticut and turned us in. And they came and, one, they wouldn't decent her. And two, they wanted us to turn her loose. Which, is just cruel to do to an animal that was raised by humans and used to having humans feed them. So my father refused. And what he did do was build an outdoor enclosure for her. Like a little dog house and, so she could get used to living outside. I mean, she'd been in the house. We kept her in a playpen in the living room for a long time. And the cats made friends with her, and she just hung out with the cats. And she didn't know she wasn't a cat, so, she didn't know about outside. So we put her out there, and when she finally matured and, wanted a boyfriend, she did dig her way out. But she would come back to the house every night for her bowl of cat food. So, hey, Susie, welcome in, welcome in. And yeah, she even went to show and tell with me once. I think I was in kindergarten or first grade. She was, and she didn't spray. She was really cool. I don't know if she ever learned how to spray out in the wild, but we ended up selling the house a couple years after that, and we left a giant bag of cat food and told the new owners about Sweet Pea, who would be coming every night for her daily dish cat food. Yeah, the only way we could get her decented is if we had a license, a furrier license. If we were going to kill her, that would be okay. But if we were just going to keep her as a pet, we couldn't do it. Whatever. Oh, yeah, they can. Babies can spray. But she wasn't threatened, We were her family. She was really little, like really nursing little when we got her. So, and the cats, they just said, oh, look, it's a kitten. And they just washed her and they didn't care. And, so, yeah, she was pretty cool. We had a baby alligator. Had a couple wild birds that were injured that, we rehabilitated, and they weren't to be pets. They just got helped out and turned loose again. And, yeah, they do. Skunks are cool. They're very cool. Raccoons are trouble, but skunks are cool. So yeah, I could live, just surrounded by animals all the time because they are definitely easier to get along with than most people. So, in my opinion. Oh man. Yeah, we don't have skunks here in our area. They do live in Arizona, and they do have some like in Kingman. That's about 45 minutes away. But I've never seen a skunk out here in Dolan Springs, and I don't really hear about them. I think there's been one or two over the 10 years I've been here I've heard about. Yeah, what kind of turtle, Susie? Turtles, man. Yeah, I like them. Big fan of water turtles if you got to keep them in the house because they're messy. But I love Russian tortoises. They're like little tiny tortoises, and they never get big, and they can live in the house forever. Really, really cool little critters. First time I saw a soft-shelled Asian turtle, I think they are. It's a water turtle. It's not a tortoise. Painted, yeah, cool. I was just like, whoa, that was just, I'd never seen anything like that up close. Saw one in California in a pet shop. Just really funky looking. He was all leathery. He wasn't hard like a tortoise. He was like leathery. He was really cool. Yeah, that's a long time. You must have taken good care of him. The turtles. We lived in Connecticut. We lived near the Moodus Reservoir. And they had, I don't know what they were. Probably painted turtles, just regular, standard turtles that live in ponds in Connecticut, right? There was a bunch of fallen logs, and they would get up on the logs and they would literally do like the piggy pile, and you'd see two or three of them sitting on top of each other trying to get more sun. It was really funny. Oh, that's terrible, Susie. Orange bellies, cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's a lot of different turtles, man. Turtles are pretty cool little critters. This tortoise of ours is a riot. He's he's really slow, and he comes out when we bring out the food. But other than that, he's like, yeah, whatever, man. I'm sleeping. Just leave me alone. He's down in his burrow a lot. He was out roaming around the other night, though, but he does come out when the temperature gets around 80. too high or too low. He doesn't want anything to do with it. A baby on a big one. There you go. You've seen like those big giant tortoises, like the Galapagos tortoise, and he had all those little tiny babies, and they're like, not even as big as one of his feet. So cute. Yeah, yeah. Snapping turtles, I'm not a fan of, I gotta say. Lived in Bar Harbor, Maine. Right behind our house was a marsh. And we had all kinds of frogs and turtles and, all kinds of birds. And we had a family of ducks out there. And we had a ginormous snapping turtle. And one day my mother was feeding the ducks, and all of a sudden, one of the babies got snapped up by that turtle. I mean, he just chomped it. My mother freaked out. That night, my father was on the roof of the house, and he shot that turtle. So, because my mother was not having that. So, he was pretty big. But yeah, I mean, he's eating baby ducks. That's not cool. And my mother had chickens, little chickens. They were, oh, I don't remember what they're called. The ones with the furry feet? Bantams, maybe? They're little. They're smaller. The raccoons, that didn't go well. They will literally rip them through chicken wire. Papa Raccoon didn't make it. I know of Little Debbie. I've spoken to her in chats. I've never had a conversation with her. She seems like a very nice human being. Yeah, that was, I mean, they even moved the chicken coop right outside my parents' bedroom so that they could keep an eye on them, and they doubled up the chicken wire so that the holes were half size, and they were still ripping them through, and the noise and the blood, and it was yucky. That was not good. And Papa Raccoon, he was big, and he didn't make it. But, you can't, you got to do what you got to do to take care of your critters, and it wasn't like they were just free ranging. They were secure in a cage, and they were, basically just left out as fodder, is the way the raccoon saw it. So, yeah, they do that. It's not cool. Not cool. I mean, again, I understand they have to eat. I don't have to be part of the food chain. I don't want to feed them. I don't want to watch it. Or I don't do snakes, other than they're creepy. But they eat rodents. I love rodents, and I just can't feed a living thing to another thing. And I was never a big fan of selling feeder fish, which, again, they have a purpose. That's all the fish I have in my pond that you guys see. Those were all feeder fish from my pet store. They were all like 2 to 3 inches when I bought them. So, but, turtles and cichlids and Oscars, and there's a bunch of other fish that eat fish, and, snakes and some lizards. They like to eat mice, and I just, no. Yeah, chipmunks. I know. They do these things. They do. I know. I mean, but again, I understand this is the way the world works. I just don't want to be part of that, deal. I'm good with pellets and fruits and vegetables and hay. It's got a face. I don't want to feed it to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, Regina's working, so she may be listening, but she may actually have to deal with customers. She's in a mall. She has free reign when there's no people there, but if the phone rings or, someone comes in, she has to deal with them. Yeah, I mean, I love critters. I do love them, but I don't do the spiders. They're creepy. I don't do snakes and lizards that bite. I don't like them. There she is. Iguanas can be cool as long as you spend a lot of time with them, but if you let them be for even a couple of weeks, they can get real nasty. They bite really hard, and they tail whip. Oh, that tail whip is like an electrical burn. I like bearded dragons. I actually like skinks. Skinks are really cool. We've had a couple of those that were they're just cool critters. But geckos, they're okay, but they creep me out because they run up walls and disappear on you really quick. You know, I like beardies. They're cool dudes. Dogs, yeah. Yeah, we just got the one dog right now. They have them in pairs, but these two did not work out, so we have one now. So they were literally trying to kill each other, which was extremely traumatic for me. I did not deal with that very well at all. So we're not going to have another dog till this one's gone, because I'm never doing that again. Never, ever, ever. But I am looking for a pair of orange kittens, because I've never had an orange cat. All different colors, but never orange. I also like a Russian blue or a Scottish fold, because I just think they're so cute with their little ears that fold over. But, you know, I'm looking at the pound, so probably I won't find any of those. Orange, I can probably find orange at the pound. Basic orange cat. Oh, rats are awesome. I love rats. When I got married, poor duck, I had 2 cats and 2 rats. I was living in Maine, Bar Harbor, Maine. Doug was in the Army. He was stationed in Columbia, South Carolina. We put the 2 rats in a fish tank, 2 cats in cat carriers, and drove from Bar Harbor, Maine to Columbia, South Carolina. And then after we got there and got situated, Doug decided he really liked rats. They were pretty cool, and we went and got another pair. But they only live like maybe 5 years if you're lucky, and they don't get all kinds of horrible cancerous tumors, because rats are really prone to that. I just, they're just so cool, and they just don't live long enough. They just, I have these pets that will outlive me. Parrots, tortoises, donkeys, Rats, I mean, they're basically just tiny little dogs. You can train them. Mine used to walk around on my shoulder all the time. There you go. Oh, here you go, Regina. I had 1 rat left when I went over to Berlin. And I was staying in Connecticut with my parents. Well, Doug went over, and I had to wait a couple of months for housing, so I was staying with them, and I had 1 rat. And my grandmother was living with them. And my little rat's name, she was a little hooded rat. She was orange and white, actually. Her name was Jessica. Jessica left. Sorry, Jess. And she was in my bedroom, and my grandmother's bedroom was like right next to mine. It was one of those old houses where you walk through one bedroom to get to the other one. So she would have to walk by Jessica every day. And she started talking to her. And then Jessica, she was very friendly, and she would come up and, at the cage. And then she started giving her little crackers at night when she'd go to bed. Take her little Cheez-Its to bed with her. And she'd give Jessica one on the way to bed. Her and Jessica became best buddies. When I left for Germany, I obviously couldn't take my rat with me, My grandmother offered to keep her. And she had her for like a year after I left, which is just, and my grandmother was not an animal fan. Animals are dirty. She didn't not have animals, but she would usually have 1 dog or 1 cat, and they were barely tolerated. She wasn't mean to them, but not an animal lover, okay? Her and this rat were best buds. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Of course, my grandmother's also the one who we lived in Moodus, Connecticut, out in the woods. Big farmhouse, 100 acres, wraparound porch. My mother had cats, and people used to drop cats off all the time. And they just, they were breeding, and the vet was being really cool and fixing as many as possible, as quickly as possible, very cheaply, because he knew the situation. We're living on a farm. It wasn't a working farm, but people like, oh, the cats can live there, no problem. You know how it is. So the vet was happy that we were doing our best to keep it in check, and they helped us, get them fixed and all that. So we'd sit out on the porch at night, and the cats. My mother had dishes of cat food all over the porch for all the strays, right? Well, the skunks and the raccoons and the possums would also come and eat the cat food. So one night we're sitting out there, and my grandmother's out there. She was in the rocking chair, and we were, I don't know, cleaning up after dinner or something, going in and out, not really, just, nightly family stuff, right? And we were in the kitchen, we look out the door, and my mother's like, Mom? My grandmother's like, yes? It's like, can you come here, please? My grandmother was petting the skunk. This was not a tame pet skunk. This was one of the wild skunks. But this is how comfortable they were there. They just didn't care. Oh, okay, Susie. Don't hurt yourself. Take it easy. Yeah, so my grandmother was petting the skunk. And it didn't spray her. And the skunk just kept eating. And no big deal. So yeah, my grandmother ended up being a fan of rodents in her old age. But, Spirit animal. There you go. Yeah, I got a lot of them, Susie. I got a lot of them. I've had a weird family life. Yeah, but see, if you make friends with a skunk and they're not scared of you, they won't spray you because you're not a threat. They don't really, because, they're not big fighting animals. That's why they spray, because, they can get away. Kind of like an octopus squirting ink, It doesn't really fight. It just makes barriers so that they can disappear when you're not looking. Yeah, as long as you don't threaten them, you can make friends with them. The hummingbirds used to just come right up. We'd be sitting right there, and they'd just come up. They didn't care because they were just used to us, And the cats didn't bother them, which was nice. But, so yeah, some of my funny animal stories. I've got a ton of them. Spent a lot of my life with critters. I really like them. Yeah, I probably should get going here and go do my recordings while the birds are still being quiet before I have to go feed everybody lunch. Lunch, they tend to get wound up again, so get my recordings done and finish my timestamps. I wrote them all down, so I just have to type them in under my video, and I am done with that video until Saturday. Then please, please, everybody, come on by. I'm going to go pull up the link and drop it. You can find me. And everybody else. Drop my playlist. Find everybody. Well, everyone that has video stuff anyway, I've added. Oops. That's my schedule. Right. Oh, playlists. All in there. Everyone that has them up already. Added them to this, and I will add the rest as they show up. Too funny, Regina. Yeah, I've had a couple dogs sprayed, and big secret to that is don't get them wet. Water makes it worse. What am I sharing here? Oh, yes, the shop hop. Hop hop playlist. Saturday starts at noon on Johnny's channel and ends on Tooch's channel at 6:30. Yeah, I know. I know. Skunk smell can be pretty rank. Doug actually has to trap skunks. Like I said, they have them down in Kingman. Like in the housing areas, like kind of where they have dumpsters and that kind of stuff, And he actually had to buy a tarp just for the skunks. because like when he goes to pick them up, you throw the tarp over it and then they don't spray. Be there or be square. Yeah. Yeah, man. Be there or be square. Regina said so. But then, he was using the tarp for other stuff, and it was just like, yeah, not good. So now they have a trap and a tarp that they keep in the trap. So, because, multiple people use the same trap. And, yeah, that's the only one that smells like skunk now. So, awesome, awesome. Yeah, and maybe one burnt tire. Out here, they use tires for, apparently it keeps snakes out. Snakes don't like rubber. Unpacking boxes. Boxes of good stuff, Susie? Hope it's something good. And this house on the corner here by us, they literally had a full acre surrounded by tires that were, I would say, probably 6 deep, tall and 2 deep. So I don't know how many tires that is, but a lot. And if you take them to the dump, it costs a lot of money to get rid of them. So the guy that bought this house literally spent almost 2 full weeks burning tires. The stench was ungodly. I would have preferred 6 skunks in my house to that. And it did not make my lungs feel good either. And there was nothing I could do about it because he had a permit. So there you go. Suck it up and die. Yeah, people do interesting, weird things out here, but what are you going to do? But since he bought it, he has repainted it, re-roofed it, added a garage, and cleaned up the whole front yard, including adding a nice new front gate. So it looks good. I'm just glad he doesn't have any more tires to burn. Oh, boy. Yeah. It's interesting, the people that are in this shop hop, because I don't know some of them. I've been to almost everybody's sales at least once, but I don't know some of them. So I'm hoping that, we'll all get to know a little bit more about each other as we do this. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it again. We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. And of course, selling mystery bags may not be the best way to, best litmus test, but it's what I got and what I really want out of my house. And something I spent money to put together. So I'd really, really like to sell. Yeah, I didn't make one sale on Monday, not one. And I've only made like, I don't know, maybe 10 sales for the whole month. So I'm not really enjoying selling right now because I'm not doing it. Not because I'm not showing up, but because nobody's buying. And I do know I've seen that in other sales. There's been a lot of, okay, we'll pass on that. Okay, we'll pass on that. So I'm hoping people are just, on summer break and not deciding they don't want to shop anymore online. Yeah, we all need some sales. I mean, when Nikki's not selling stuff, it's bad. You know what I mean? Not that she never sells anything, but she had quite a few passes the last few sales I've been at, so that's not the norm. I know that. So yeah, I'm trying not to beat myself up, but I just feel like, I don't know, it's not working out and I'm not enjoying it because I'm not selling anything. So, not helping me. It's only causing me more work. Good for you. Yeah, hubby and I don't work well together. It's almost like he's a left-handed person and he's not, but he does things like completely backwards with the way I do them. Like move a couch, we both turn the same way. Like you'd think it after 40 years together we could have worked out a system. No. Oh, we're getting better though. Now that we don't have kids and it's just him and me here, that, we kind of have to work together a little bit. Hey, yeah, you can get through it without wanting to sleep in separate bedrooms or needing an entire box of Band-Aids. I call that a win in my book. Oh, yeah, I really need like a little friend, like Amy's little niece there. You know, someone that thinks it'd be fun to hang out with me and do the things I like doing. You know, I don't know where I get one of those, but if I can find one, probably get a lot more done. Most of the stuff I do is on my own, and I'm bored and I don't want to do it. I got no one to talk to, and it's just not fun doing a lot of these, you know, chores on your own. Yeah, been there, done that. Here you go, another one of my mother's famous sayings. When she hears about men that like to beat on women and think that's cool, I don't know, people would say, well, what if Billy ever did that to you? She's like, he's gotta sleep sometime. Yeah, really, Susie? Yeah, it's just been, I mean, when I first started, it was good. I was doing good, and I was a new seller, which, I know people come and check me, but they're buying, and they're not buying. So, and I don't plan to step it down. I plan to step it up. So, fully, I want to get back into working with silver and stones and making jewelry, and it won't be $5. I mean, we're talking, $30 and up for pieces that I want to make, and I don't know if there's a market for it. I don't know, but I just selling stuff that I didn't even want to buy. If I had been the purchasing manager, I would not have been the one that bought the stuff that I'm currently selling. And being a reseller was not what I want to be a jewelry designer. That's what I want to do, and I can do that and still sell my own work. But I just need the room to have, and if I sold this stuff, I would have the money to buy the stuff I want to work with. Hello, Ella. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just chit-chatting. Nothing exciting going on. I'm tired and grumpy. Yeah, so that was the whole plan. Sell this stuff out from the bead store, use that money to buy the supplies I want to work with, and start selling my products. I've had success with that in the past. People seem to like what I make, so cool. But until I can have the room and the money, I can't really move forward with it. So there you go, Susie. You know what I'm talking about then. Making jewelry since 2000. Since I moved here to Arizona, I haven't really done it because I've been, fixing my house and getting accustomed to living in a new state and not having friends and family around, and collecting things like donkeys and horses and tortoises that I didn't have before I moved here, and stuff and things. But I've been here a long time, and I want to get back into doing my fun stuff, and I really am kind of stuck right now. Frustrating. So, but if it really comes down to it, I will. I'll just ditch all this crap so I have the room, and it won't be in my room, and I won't be looking at it. Oh, Susie, you want to be my best friend? I always wanted to do metalsmithing. Always wanted to do that. I've never been able to afford to get into it. I'd also like to do pottery and have a wheel and a kiln, because that's just cool. I just like making stuff. I think we do, Susie. I think we do. Yeah, selling, advertising, marketing, I don't really care for any of that. I just like making things. But you can't just make stuff and just pile it up. Then what? I mean, what do you do with it? So that was part of why I stopped making a lot of stuff. I gave a lot of my inventory away for Christmas presents, birthday presents, whatever, that kind of thing. Giveaways. I've been doing that over the years for different organizations, because I know a lot of people think I'm new to selling. I'm not. I'm just new to selling on YouTube. So I know how to do it all. I just don't enjoy it. And I know that about myself, That's why I would love to have an assistant that thinks all that part of it's just awesome and they don't want to do nothing with making stuff, Well, see, that's the thing though, Regina. The whole sourcing and buying and collecting of craft materials is totally separate hobby from actually making things with the craft materials. They're two separate things. Doug has finally figured that out. I'm one of those people that I like to collect things, but it's not because I want to keep them. I just want to get the whole set together. I like the thrill of the hunting down that one missing piece from the set, or I don't know. I'm just weird that way. I like chasing stuff. I would have been a great purchasing agent. I'd be a great party planner. I don't like hosting the parties. I don't like interacting with the human beings. Yeah, the hands and the eyeballs. I can't see the holes in my beads. And crocheting hurts. I actually usually wear a wrist brace now when I crochet if I'm doing more than one or two hats because it gets to hurting. Yeah, future projects. Maybe that's what we should do a channel of. All the projects we all plan to do before we die. See if anybody can get them done. Oh, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. Now, I know, I'm not liking this getting old, the aches and pains, Who is it, Sherry? I can't remember her last name. She talks about being a Gen Xer. And, one of her lines, it's so true. You go to bed and you feel like you were beat up by ninjas. And all you were doing was laying on a soft bed. It's like, how do I hurt myself sleeping? I mean, come on. That's not right. And then she had one the other day. She was saying that at her age, when she drops something, she has to have the conversation with herself as to, is it worth it to bend over to pick it up? If it's edible, just call the dog and let them do it. And really depends on how bad you need the item. And she said, so, the next time you young folks go over to one of your elderly relatives' houses and you see a pile of crap in the corner, don't judge. They just deemed that it wasn't worth bending over and maybe not being able to get back up. It's like, I don't think this is how we're supposed to do it. Yeah, necklaces. See, this is why I got to stop buying stuff. I bought a bunch of different craft lots and things that I want to use to remake and, redo and make new jewelry with, right? Broken strands of beads, whatever, stuff and things. I have tons of that. But if I don't, I just don't have any room to work. I mean, this is my work table and, right now it's empty, but, hey, look, there's all the bags up there under the sheet to keep them clean. All those bins are full of stuff that I've been trying to sell. And, oh, yeah, let's turn around behind me. We still have the 6-foot pegboards that are full. And that's not even all of it. I still have more that I didn't even get out. And behind that, there's shelves full of stuff. And then over there in that room, there's more stuff. So, yeah. I'm disgusted with it. No. Can't even have a tag sale here. People wouldn't even show up. It's like, what I'm saying, it's dumpster bound. Tell your friends they want some cheap supplies. Come and see me. Email me. I'll do a personal private video and walk you through what I got, and you can buy anything you want. I just want it out of my house. Oh, man. All right, well, I should get going. I'm just procrastinating because I don't want to do what I got to do today, but it's got to be done, and I'm the only grown up in the house. So, time to put on my big girl panties and get it done, I suppose. I do hope you all have fun. Enjoy your weekend. Regina, I really can't. I mean, it's in boxes. It's everywhere. I mean, it would take me a week to get a video together. I don't have time this week. Not this week. I mean, you want to see what I got? Go back through my videos. You'll see what I've got. I started with seed beads and just went right through my inventory, all the way up to charms, and I still have some stuff I haven't even taken out. So, you want to see what I got? It's already videoed, all of it. Just go back and watch some of my old videos, and you'll see. And they're all labeled like seed beads, glass pearls, findings, stuff and things and whatnot, you know. Yeah, you too, Susie. Yeah, come on back anytime. Every Friday I'm here. And I'll be back on Monday doing my sale. I think you may be on that time frame too, though. And Saturday, come on and check out the shop hop. It's pre-recorded, so if you can't get there when people are doing it, come on back later. Yeah, it's insanity, Regina. I know. And I'm not even like, I didn't get into this to be a reseller. I got into this to run an actual brick and mortar store. I never ever would have bought this much stuff. I'm not like a hoarder kind of person. I keep things I shouldn't, but I don't, have excessive amounts of crapola. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would really like to just get my money back so I can turn it around. I want to print my cards. These are my cards. And I want to print these and sell these. And I've already, printed up a couple. This is the small set, and it comes with a lucky coin, and I got boxes. And I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I don't want to sell used jewelry or even new old stock jewelry, especially stuff that is not something that I'm interested in. So I find it very difficult to be excited about things that I don't want to work with. So, but it's just stuff. I mean, it's regular stuff people work with every single day. So I know there's people out there that do it. And like I said, I'm seeing people buying what I'm selling for twice the price. So if you hear of anybody that's looking, by all means, send them my way. Yeah. Too much stuff. I know. I mean, I'm going to start going through my house. I might just do like a tag sale Tuesday or something and just collect up things I don't want anymore that I don't really want to list, and just see if anybody's interested in stuff. I start cleaning because I've got to do it. I've got to start doing it. And I need a cattle prod. Someone needs to poke me. I just need to start in one room and work through the house and just get it done because, it's not like anyone's going to show up and do it for me. So, but anyway. All right, Miss Regina, back to work for you. Miss Susie, you go take care of your truck and your things and stuff. Miss Ella, thank you very much for popping in. And I'm going to head on out, and I will catch you guys all soon. Check out my links in the description below and come and find me. All right, as always, sending much peace, love, and harmony from Petrichor Ranch in Arizona. Get some sun and find a reason to smile today. Big hugs. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.